I thought it was one of the smarter scripts I'd read, and I'd done a lot of action movies, but they'd always been based in fantasy in some way. So it was the first time I got to do something based in reality, and I think that makes all the action harder and tougher and just a lot more fun. So I had a great time. I love doing action, and I love doing dramatic films, and I've never really been able to combine them. And as for action, it's sometimes, you know, I've had so much fun doing certain films, but you can get away with so much when it's fantasy. You can bend a bullet, and you can jump off something that doesn't really exist, or you can, and you can have fun, and you can stretch imagination. But for this one, it was just such a nice challenge to say, we have to work so much harder to convince the audience that all these things are absolutely possible. And so my style got meaner and harder and darker, and it wasn't as kind of fun and pretty, and that made it, I think, better. I think these stunts in this movie is a better action movie than ones I've done. I said it's hard to explain her because so much of her is a mystery until you see it, and then when you see it, I think it becomes clear why I would choose to do her. But there was a real duplicity to her personality, and there's a part of her that's not necessarily a good guy, and because of certain things that happened to her, as I say, she's a bit damaged. So she's not just heroic, and she's not even, and she's not just brave. There's something a little off about her that, and maybe there's a little something off about me, so I wanted to play it. So it seemed like a good match. People, if you work at the CIA, you can't share anything about your work and your life with your family, or your friends. So you become this very, very lonely, isolated individual that has a lot of secrets, and I think it's a very unusual type of person, a very specific type of person that has to do that, and it's a very big sacrifice that these people make because it's a very lonely life. So I found that really interesting. You know, as I said, it's so difficult to speak about her, but it's so unusual to find such a great character, and she has, because when you see the film, her history and her childhood feeds a lot in who she is, and you get to meet her as a child, which is played by wonderful actors, and it was the first time they really feed into who I am because they're so brilliant and they were so committed that they really helped. We all did the character together. But it's the decisions you make. At the end of the day, I think this film is very much about what you choose to do with your life, where you stand, and what you decide you won't be pushed to do, and your own personal line. And I think that is something that we all have to come to terms to at some point in our life, and you know, take a stand or back away or whatever it may be. And I think, and no matter what your circumstances are, how you were raised, whatever excuses you have for the pain in your life and the things, the self-destructive nature, whatever it may be, at some point, you make this big decision to make your own choices. And she does, and when she does in the film, I was moved by that. I liked what she did, and I liked why she did it.